All right, let's just go over this Victor game because I thought this was like pretty good showcase. In some ways maybe not because like firstly you see the Victor is on AB0, but like a lot of things this game that could have gone wrong went wrong. So I think it's fun to analyze that, and there was like a little bit of challenge, which I think is cool to look at like afterwards too. So I like you don't draw Greaves combos, can't win. How to use blast, how to use shock. I think this game is just good at showcasing that aspect. But you'll see. Here, unfortunately, have to Lake 3 on turn 1, but or turn 0, but getting the Sigil of Lightning down is really good though. By the way, I think Victor on AB3 is the loadout they should play, but I don't know if they have the space to go in the big tournament with AB3 on sideboard. But yeah, well, this is first hand. It's not not the greatest, but it happens sometimes. So I just ditch that down and put the somersault because I'm hedging. I probably draw attacks that I can block from Arsenal for like 4, 5, or 6, but that's not the case here either. Which again, I am sad about. But it is what it is. We'll see what the response from Victor is from here. So double 8 coming. It's not do a whole lot, -2 on the first attack on Crush, but also like this hand is now very good to all every yellow blast haters. I don't know, you might not see the lines like instantly when you draw the thing, but you just have to play blast, trust me. You just have to play a lot of blast, trust me on this one. Like trust me on this one. Like okay, let's check the values here. We block 6. Now what we do? We send 3, so we're at 9 on 5 cards. Of course, we have CLV on the ground, and opponent's AB0, so it's relatively easy to trigger. Also here I accidentally cut my VOD, but we got another one. So yeah, playing somersault then after opponent blocks. We pick that one up, but here's the deal. Let's actually just reset the CLV. Because here I'll just also showcase that the CLV is actually like really good in Australia. Sometimes it's bad. It's not as powerful almost ever than in Aurora, right? But it's still a very good card in Australia. Please don't drop it. So now we get to go here. 3 again. And now my bot cuts here. And because well, what is editing? So we go straight into here. Alright. So yeah. Play the valley, trigger the blast, get the conductivity, shock, pitch, coming for 6. So we dealt 18 value on this hand, 6 block. Very nice numbers, 6 block, 6 physical, 6 arcane. And we also get embodiment for next turn. We get Channel Lightning Valley, reset it, ready for next turn. And we get the draw as well, so we cycle through our deck also to try to see the cards that we want to, which would be Eclectic Magnetism, fantastic card in this matchup. Because all the arcane is really good in this matchup. You don't really want to trigger Victor's things. The clashes with like random Gurgin attacks, unless you're like going to end on a heavy arcane. Otherwise, you kind of just lose that turn cycle. But here's a pummel having 2 open, which is like really dubious. I'm looking at like 2 open. All right, well, if they have it, they have it here. I'll just discard conductivity, lose the thing on the arsenal, and that's that. But that does not happen. Or then they also like could just not send the pommel there, just in case, because Osolios do run D reacts. So blocking clean six and having D react open on the pommel is like really bad for the Victor, right? But I mean, they might be a little bit overthinking, perhaps, but still doing pretty good. Now I cycle here the Comet, this Channel Lady Valley, because anything that we draw, if it's another instant, fantastic. If it's a spell, the best case scenario. If it's another attack, it's the same thing really. So just getting to see the cards faster like this, and just getting the chances to sometimes for free look at your top deck. Like if it's the nuts and it's a spell, then we kind of just start rolling here. But I'm just all these hands are a little bit stumbling. Trying to like look for the kind of like looking for things to click, and me getting the tempo, and then the hands just start to like shape. Because first we draw a lot of like these together randomly, the cards, and I can't really affect the next draws by arsenal and setting up, and it's not been going my way. Here could also be a combo where I use the current funnel to pitch, which is also fine. So we get to do a lot of like the blast gun stuff here, but I'll just block 8 and send 4 back. So that's a 12. We get Perlians and our Gun Flash like in Arsenal. We've only seen one CNC, and I think Victors are probably off Vegas Link because Zen Enigma is gone, which is really good for Australia, right? Because CNC is not that crazy if you just keep the card in mind, right? Because here I could just block the first CNC out using armor pretty much, unless it's like 4 instants. Holy fuck, the cats are going zoom. This could be a combo. And they send a Golden Sun here. Overpowered. They've been also getting all the clashes as well. Like every turn is the class card pretty much, which is really good for the Victor. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I do this to grab back the brilliance and just sort of like bank my power in this and the next turn. So it turns out they had the pommel on the CNC, right? Because that Arsenal was sitting there. But they just decided against to not deploy that one. I could use here Tunic. I could like discard Solace and go discharge, gun, sigil, and a Tunic for null shock for a lot. But I also take 11 damage here and go to 19. So seeing like the next Tunic cycle, yeah, I don't think it's feasible. So I'm looking here for a spell because I need to discard, and I do want to play the Solids and the Brilliances. And the discharge is also good. So if this is spell, I combo here. If it's not, I'll discard to it and just take the 3 values out of my cards and bank my power on next turn. Because now we've gone through 1 pommel. So on the next 4 cards, it's very unlikely to come another pommel. Now here, if this was a rated game, like I'd be playing calling or something, I would probably do Greaves here regardless, just to grab the tempo back, and this hand would go crazy with the gun. We will also not seen only 1 blink, no sigil of lightnings, and no funnels. So also no flittering charges. So drawing the next hand with Gun Arsenal would be good, but they left 2 cards there. So I'm thinking that might be CNC, so I try to play a little around CNC here. But it didn't pay off. And the hand is kind of like, yeah, it's definitely a hand, but the good thing is I do have 1 instant for this hand, so it's like sort of fixed. But my opponent has 1 card that is like really bad in the Australia. Like really fucking bad in the Australia. Like, you should never play that card in Australia, at least AB1 with that one. And you see here exactly why. So like, like you could do combo here too. So I'm thinking here, I probably like to do combo here. On Greaves, I get 2 action points from Flittering and Brilliance, and then I can do Blast and Bounce Brilliance. And then have the extra action point. And there should be a spell coming. Soon enough. And if I draw an instant, I can cycle it still. But my opponent decides to deploy the Civic Steps. And like, dude, I have Conductivity and I have Blast to Oblivion. So Civic Steps is just straight up Lightning Graves for me. So I have like 6 Lightning Graves this game. 2 Civic Steps, my own Graves, and 3 Funnels. So that's pretty good. So then I decide against doing the combo. And I really do want to get a spell here. I really do want to get a spell. So that's why I'm bouncing here Brilliance rather than Conductivity. But like, in retrospect, I think optimally, if you bounce Conductivity here with Discharge, I get Counterflash for 7, and then it bounce, and then I can do Counterflash again, or Eclectic using Tunic, or Pitching Gun. So it's like 4 extra damage, but drawing a card might not be 4 extra damage, but drawing a card could be also 8 extra damage. So there's that. So drawing a random card here, I think is warranted. We get a current funnel, which links quite nicely. You can't see it because of my avatar, which I just made bigger from last few days. It was in a way of Mansense face cam. Sorry about that one. There's 26 cards left in my deck, I remember, because I looked. And I've been able to deal a whole total of, before this, 33, there were 33, 7 damage this game. With half of my deck. So like, hey. Osilia is spiky, alright. So I decided to deploy the Tunic and send this one. Guess, I'm pretty sure I checked a bit before, I think this turn, but this is my last guy in the flash. So I can't really like, oh, that one. And if they send CNC pummel here, I'm quite fucked. Which I was quite afraid of because I get 3 cards and insisted on it, but I mean, Machakranda for 13 is, it's not bad, but my hand is better. My hand is better than anything in this game, I think. This is like the flicker arc shit. Pop here for 1. The spells have been quite clumped this game, and no Sigils of Lightning. Oh Jesus. Ah, did mic open when I was playing this? Ah, hell nah. Very professional. like this editing as well. Rate my editing in the comments below, please. And thank you. You might not believe it, but I am my own editor. It's kind of crazy. Like, damn, how is it doing all this content, all this editing, all this practicing and playing Flesh and Blood and doing work? No shot. I like the one life from Eclipse coming really clutch here as well. Playing towards the Sigil of Solace and the one life of Cliff Overlay, Lifesavers, but also taking different lines might be able to be more offensive where I didn't need the life. That is also a consideration, you never know. The hand starts to change like really quickly depending on when you cycle or like how fast you cycle and how do you play your cards. So it's like quite a wide, like snowbally, iterative Fibonacci sequence tree of what is it? Like decisions. Wait, if you don't know Fibonacci, wait, let me show you. I think this is cool. There has to be a picture of this, like a visual. I don't want to see the spirals or the numbers. Uh, I don't know where I'm going with the Fibonacci thing, but okay. Well, anyways, here was also a turn where I could pop Greaves, but again, free Quicken token is pretty good. This is what I was thinking about. All right, let me show you this real quick. Right, open image in your tab. All right, bad. So like this. This is your turn 0. You take one cycle instead of not taking the auxiliary cycle. Your game goes here instead of here. Then you decide to IB the brilliance, and the game goes here, not here, and it just grows like with auxiliary like. But I feel like there's like from 1 point you get like 6, and from those 6 you get like 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and then you get like 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Yeah, it's like crazy exponential. Just from like little cycles, because you start to hit like different blocks of your cards and they function differently, because a lot of your cards are like 2-card combos or 3-card combos, right? So, but I wanted to play Swell Tidings here, looking for, if that was instant that would have been crazy, like Sigil, and then I get a Ponder again, but that did not do anything. I'm looking for a shock. My opponent cannot have Pummel here because they don't have Tunic. They don't have money for that one. So 2 mites are like 11 from Spinal Crush is the most that they can do. Actually 12. 12 dominated, I'm dead. So I just wanted to not pop boots this game. I decided that because the hands were like good enough, and I kind of wanted to like showcase this because I was already recording, so why not? If I get to keep a spell in hand, I win. But it is what it is. At least like this, Flittering gets a Tunic or a Clash card. But I don't think they have any clashes left. Maybe one. maybe one of four block test of strength. So we get those. And then I'm looking here how many shocks I have left. And I indeed do have one shock left. And look at that. Throw that one. And now they sent the golden boy at me. By the way, I opened that one up already. Like this. This is like turn 0. Turn 1. How many different iterations of the game you get? And then it's like 40, turn 2. That's like Flesh and Body in general, but also does that more, I think.